literally haven't covered the news in 2 months. Ironically, it was because there was so much news that I didn't have the time to do the news. So naturally, as I was writing the script, I had no idea where I should even start, because I don't even remember the last skin line we had a look at. So without further ado, let's just have a look at the latest, most important news. Perhaps the most interesting ongoing thing on live servers is the new Volibear teaser. If you decide to go for a game of ARAM, there is roughly 50% chance, perhaps even more, that you will encounter a storm gathering in the middle of the map. And after 3 minutes, Volibear will come out from it. He then smacks the bridge, stuns everyone, and disappears. Just for playing a game of ARAM, you will get a unique emote. But it is unclear whether you even need to see Volibear to get it. As far as we know, even if you play a game of ARAM where Volibear doesn't appear, you should still get it. And speaking of Volibear, his bio on Universe was updated to reveal his new story. Now, because Riot knew where they wanted to take Volibear's story ever since the release of Ornn, you don't have to worry about Volibear's story changing. It stayed the same. Riot just gave us more info on his relationship with Ornn and the other primal gods. Also, it was confirmed that Volibear was the one who blinded Lysandra, although everyone always thought that was the case. Before Volibear's bio, that was technically never directly confirmed. Here I also need to mention that although I would really love to make a video on Volibear now, there will probably be an extra story about him when he gets released. So for now, his lore will have to wait. Speaking of which, just in case you want to know what we will have a look at next, I will probably cover the Ionian story first, because there is a good chance that the story will be connected to the upcoming summer event. After that, I still need to cover the rest of the cards that were added to Legends of Runeterra. But there was also a new story for canon, and theoretically I could also cover the full Dark Cosmic story. And don't forget, we kinda skipped Fiddlesticks. I did explain his story in the 2 videos, but there is more we could talk about. So don't worry, we will get to everything, but I just need to figure out in which order. But enough about lore, now let's jump onto PBE to see what's coming to live servers soon. First of all, pretty much everyone already knows that there is a bunch of skins waiting in line, with the first ones being the 2019 championship winners, Fun plus Phoenix. With every year, the championship skins get better and better, but this time around, Riot went overboard with the extra effects. Probably my favorite one is Gangplank. Not only do his spell effects look amazing, but the sound design is just as good. On top of that, Riot gave all of these skins something extra when they respawn. They all start as just a guy, which is likely supposed to be the player, but then he transforms into one of the champions. The animation is the same for all of them, but it is still a really nice touch. The second skin in this series is Lee Sin. Unfortunately, with each new Lee Sin skin, the age of his animations shows more and more. Because even as Riot keeps pumping out these amazing new models, they keep his old animations from 2011. And especially with his auto attacks, that shows. At least Riot is saving it with these amazing comic book sound effects. Then there is Malphite, another champion that is really getting ruined by his old animations. With that said, at least unlike Lee, Malphite is so bulky and huge that the fleshy bits of his skin cover up for him. With all of those flames around him, you can hardly tell that he's actually really old. Next up we have Thresh. Now Thresh already has quite a few really good skins, so in order for this one to be relevant, it needs something extra. Thankfully, the flame effects on his flay are really good, and the cage has decent firewalls. On top of that, again, the sound design is really good. And for the last one, we have Vayne. Unfortunately, Vayne is a champion where you can't really go wild with spell effects, because all she ever does is just rolling around and auto-attacking. So obviously, Riot spent all of their budget on those auto-attacks and her passive. Those look flashy as heck. But that probably wasn't enough, so they just added cats. What is surprising to see is that Riot is also releasing chroma versions for these skins, which I do believe is a first. Usually the world skins have just one version and that's it. But this time around there are chroma skins that have the tag, "This chroma was released as a bundle exclusive in 2020. So this means that the chroma versions will come with those classic release bundles that contain the skin, the chroma, an icon, in this case it would be an icon with a signature, and a border, also with a signature. But all of this is still just in the first skin line, because besides the World Championship, we are also getting new Pulsefire skins. Now, the Pulsefire skin line started really strong with two legendary skins of Ezreal and Caitlyn, which was then followed up by a series of just good skins. These were Twisted Fate, Riven and Shen. But there was also another really good legendary, which was Thresh. But now we are back to the just good part with our latest additions. First there is Echo, who fits into the Pulsefire theme really well. The spell animations are amazing, with some cool little details, such as the warning sign inside his stun. But the model itself looks really good too. The coloring is great and the mask is amazing. Also, you can see Thresh trying to get him in the splash art. Then there is Fiora, who looks far more royal here because, just like Caitlyn, she's one of the Chrono Enforcers, which is something like a policeman that is dealing with time paradoxes. And in her splash art, you can see that she's fighting Thresh, somewhere in the past. Somehow, the Pulsefire theme fits Fiora really well too, and all of those blue fleshy effects feel natural. I also like the detail in her recall, where she's picking Echo as her next target, and she's opening a gate to him. And then there is Pantheon, a warrior who survived a timeline that was devoured by the Praetorians. Although I wouldn't really say that Pantheon fits the Pulsefire theme, I believe this skin is being saved by two little details. First, the design of the shield is really good, and your eyes are instantly drawn to it when you look at him. But the other cool thing are all the extra visual effects. When you charge up the spear, there is actually a charge indicator. When he recalls, the shield scans him and there is a 3D model of Pantheon on the display. The shield wall has all the spinning chromatic gadgets. And in his ultimate, he literally jumps through a time portal. So to my surprise, the Pantheon skin is awesome as well. But last we have Lucian, who is also a Chrono Enforcer. When it comes to Lucian's spell effects, he's probably the most underwhelming, because there is only so much you can do with his spells. Still, a great detail is the fact that his cloak has an animated pulsing effect. But of course Lucian would get this extra treatment, because he is the one who also gets the prestige version. And honestly, at first sight, it looks really good. But, I have to say, the breastplate makes him look a lot more feminine? It might be just me, but the brown clothing also visually slims his waist. Even so, although I really like the coloring and the spell effects, it feels like something is off here. It doesn't really feel special, which is something you may feel about all the other skins too. And that might be because 3 out of the 4 Pulsefire skins, specifically Echo, Fiora and Lucian, already have a futuristic skin with a very similar theme. Because all of them are part of the project universe. And this is what threw me off. I wonder why Riot decided to take 3 champions that have a skin with a very strong theme, and they gave them a new skin that is very similar to their most iconic skins. I get that the 3 of these are very popular champions, and that the Pulsefire skins usually sell well, but I don't think this was the right combination. By the way, I am not saying that any of these skins are bad, but just imagine what Pulsefire Gragas could be like. Of course, all of this Pulsefire stuff is connected to the upcoming Pulsefire event, so we are also getting a bunch of new chroma skins, a lot of new icons, and a ward. There are also some new emotes, but we will get to those later. We should also mention that Surrendered 20 found new loot assets for the Pulsefire event, some orbs for the LCK, but more importantly, they also found an Eternal Capsule. Which, by the way, if you don't remember, a couple of months back, Riot stated that the people who have Eternals will also get Eternal Capsules at the end of the split. And these capsules will include some orange essence and 2 skins. And since these capsules are being added to the game, if you played some ranked, you should also expect them relatively soon. Now, although that is pretty much it for PvE, Riot released a separate post about the upcoming Pulsefire event. So, let's have a look at it now. First of all, let me quickly mention that Riot doesn't use Nexus anymore. For those of you who don't know, Nexus used to be Riot's special website where they relate news. But because people didn't really know about it, Riot is now posting their news on their main website. Anyway, in their Pulsefire post, they revealed that the event will start on May 14th, which for most people is going to be tomorrow. And it will last for a month, until the 15th of June. After that you will have 15 days up to the 30th of June to spend your tokens, after which the tokens will expire. Now with the Pulsefire event, Riot is doing something they should have done a while ago. It seems like just like TFT had the Galaxy's Pass with all the amazing rewards, seeing its success. And let me just say, I really like the TFT Pass. Riot decided to treat League the same. And so, Riot is releasing a Pulsefire pass that will behave like your standard leveling passes, from games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and now even TFT. There will be two kinds of passes. They are both exactly the same, but you just get different loot on top of it. The standard pass for 1650 RP will give you 200 tokens and 4 loot orbs. But the pass bundle for 2650 RP, which is 1000 RP more, will give you the Pulsefire Lucian skin on top of it, with the icon and the border. So the pass bundle is pretty much just a sale for that one skin. Now, the TFT pass became a great success, because the rewards were simply amazing. Honestly, some of the boards you got from the pass were way better than even some of the paid ones. And you need to remember, half of those maps were actually free as well. But unfortunately, that's not something Riot can really do with League. To make the League pass just as good as the TFT pass, Riot would have to fill the rewards with League skins unique to the pass. So it would be skins which you wouldn't be able to buy directly, at least for a while. I think Riot should do something like this in the future, but unfortunately that is not the case with the Pulsefire pass. The rewards are good relative to the RP price, but it's nothing super unique. So let's have a look at them now. For the first 10 levels, every other level gives you 5 prestige points. So in total you can get 25 prestige points from the entire pass. The good thing is that you don't have to grind through the entire pass to get your points. You can stop at level 10. The bad thing is that the points may feel like an artificial reward. And here's what I mean by this. In between each prestige point reward you also get something else. At level 1 you get an icon, at 3 you get 10 win XP boost, yes, XP boosts are still a thing, at 5 you get an exclusive emote, which I don't think you can get any other way, so that's good. At 7 you get 1500 blue essence, and at 9 you get another exclusive emote. Now after level 10, after you got all the prestige points, things start getting more interesting. At 11 there is another exclusive emote, 12 gives you blue essence again, 13 gives you TFT egg, 14 gives you a random emote, 15 gives you a gemstone, 16 gives you a hextech key, 17 gives you a masterwork chest, so basically a random skin, 18 is orange essence, 19 is a Pulsefire orb, and 20 is another gemstone. Okay, so when I said that after level 10 things would be more interesting, I didn't necessarily mean much better. As you can see, in total, from the really good loot, we have 2 hextech gems, 1 orb, and 1 TFT egg. Besides these, it's just random currencies that are worthless, unless you got a skin chart to upgrade or a mastery to unlock. Okay, I forgot you can actually unlock champions with those. And 3 exclusive emotes. In my opinion, Riot should squeeze the prestige points together and maybe give us something like 10 points at level 5 and 15 points at level 10, which would free up 3 reward slots. And honestly, for 1650 RP, I wouldn't be afraid of slapping in more skin shards at least. Skin shards aren't permanent skins, so their value isn't directly equal to the raw RP they are worth. You still need orange essence to upgrade them after all. Although what I just said is kind of already included in the pass, because you need to remember, just for buying the pass, you also get some tokens and orbs. It's just that, for some odd reason, I would be happier if those orbs were in the rewards for playing, not just a reward for opening my wallet. The result is exactly the same, but now I feel like I get less rewards. But regardless, I think the pass just needs more loot. The exclusive emotes are really good. Gemstones? Good. Masterwork chests? Good. But blue and orange essence? 1 key? I'm not really sure people want to grind for that. If anything, they will just get these passively because they would be aiming for the gemstone at the end. Next time, I think even tokens would be a really good reward. And I'm surprised there is none of it here. But that's just my opinion. Which brings us to the other way you can earn tokens. First of all, you got your classic missions. As the weeks go by, these will cycle through, and each mission grants you 12 tokens. As always, these missions are full of stuff like earn 32,000 gold, or play 12 games. But besides that, there are also the weekly missions. These grant you hundreds of tokens, but you usually need to play around 9 to 12 games to get there. But on top of these, if you own the pass, you also get the passive way to earn extra tokens. As a pass holder, on Summoner's Rift you get 10 tokens per win, and 5 per loss. For ARAM it is 6 for a win, 3 for a loss. And for TFT, Riot separated it even further. For being first or second, you get 8 tokens. For being third or fourth, you get 6 tokens. For being 5th or 6th, you get 4 tokens. And for being in the last 2 places, you only get 2 tokens. The reason why Riot nerfed the tokens gained from the low places on TFT was because a lot of people just started a game of TFT whenever they had time, they went AFK, and they just got tokens for being there. Sometimes people refer to this as the TFT token farming. So to prevent people from ruining TFT games 24/7, they nerf the tokens you gain for being AFK. Now at the very bottom of the list, you may notice there is also 6 tokens for winning Earth and 3 tokens for losing Earth. Because yes, Big Earth is coming back. I honestly think it is going to be a disaster. Because in all random Earth, at least you know the games are not going to be fair. But in Big Earth, you're going to get flamed for not picking stuff in the Earth meta. So overall, if you look at all the token rewards, since Earth usually lasts about 20 minutes, compared to your 40-minute Summoner's Rift games, I believe that playing Earth will be the easiest way to farm tokens. And for the last thing in this event and in this video, we need to mention the extra skins that are coming on the 28th of May. Because you see, Riot revealed that the Pulsefire skins will be launching with this event. But a bit later on, we will be also getting Astronaut Bard, Astronaut Gnar, and Astronaut Poppy. We already saw the Bard concept in one of Riot's videos, but Gnar and Poppy are totally new. Hello, this is me from the future. So right before I finished editing this video, there was another PBE update, and we got a good preview of all the Astronaut skins and even Volibear. Since Volibear's voice is very interesting and he has new amazing interactions, you should be expecting a video on those. But let me quickly mention that when it comes to Volibear skins, he now actually has 3 skins that are canonically part of the League of Legends universe. His classic skin is what Volibear is probably looking like normally, because still we don't actually know what the real Volibear looks like. Whenever he appears somewhere, he is just a ghost or an abomination. So it appears to be that whenever we see Volibear, that's just an image of him summoned by someone. So the base Volibear is probably what he looks like when he's summoned by someone normal. Then of course there is the 1000-pierced bear. The name comes from the story itself. Freljordians sometimes call Volibear the 1000-pierced bear, because in his back you can see thousands of spears and swords. And that's exactly what this skin is. Also, it looks like an eldritch abomination, because this was heavily inspired by his appearance in the Udyr story. This is what he looks like when the Ursine call upon him. But then there is also the Runeguard Volibear, which is what Volibear looked like before he started fighting with Ornn. Quite a long time ago, Volibear was actually wearing armor that Ornn crafted for him. But then he got angry at him and he decided to fight without it. In his normal splash art, you can actually see the pieces of armor which he wore. But again, we'll get to Volibear in another video. The Astronaut skins are simply amazing. Bard is awesome, he has alien meeps. Poppy is absolutely adorable, especially her recoil animation is amazing, and her spells are quite flashy. And Gnar is fine. His suit kinda lacks color, he's just white. But hey, his alien form is pretty amazing. But that's it from the future, now back to the past. Or the present. My theory is that since Riot is planning a TFT Galaxies expansion somewhat soon, where they will get rid of some of the less popular units and replace them with the new ones, I think that the super OP units like Thresh will get replaced by one of the new Pulsefire skins. Someone like Pantheon, who was actually already coded into TFT. And perhaps they will even add in the Astronauts as the new TFT origin. Because this is kind of what they did with Mordekaiser. When Mordekaiser was reworked, Riot instantly used him for TFT, because that was a good way to promote his rework. I think using the Astronauts in TFT would be a really good way to promote the skins too. Especially since they fit the Galaxy's theme. But that is it for this episode of Rift News. I could have also mentioned the fact that Riot is slowly preparing all the ranked rewards for TFT, but I simply ran out of time. And I suspect that these new little legends will also pop on PBE soon, and someone will have to cover them. So I am planning my content ahead. Not that there would be a lack of content for me. Hey, did you know that we have social media and Twitch where we talk about other League facts and stories? And did you know that we have neat mugs and shirts too? The links to all of that will be below. And as always, thank you, come again.